The Celtics take on the Raptors game 2, and that's going to be a 5:30 p.m. Eastern start time. The Raptors are down 0-1 in the series, but despite that, they're still the 2-point favorite in this contest here. Totals at 218 flat. The Celtics are catching even money for an outright win. And if you like Boston to cover the 2, they're minus $110, getting the job done against the number. I'm 4-2 in my last 6 board member tier package plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. I'm also 2-0 in my last 2 extra daily pick tier package plays on that site as well. For more information on how you can access these exclusive premium sports picks, link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. Now, the Celtics have won 9 out of their last 10 ball games, and that includes a 4-game sweep of the Sixers in round 1 of the playoffs. The Celtics held their opponents to just 103 points per contest on average in their last 10 games as well. They're coming fresh off a Game 1 victory over the Raptors, where they held Toronto to just 19 total points in the second quarter. The Celtics are also in the top 10 in the league in offensive rebounding on average per game, top 3 in fewest points allowed per game as well. They've also won 5 out of their last 7 head-to-head meetings with the Raptors. They also covered nearly 68% of their games away from the TD Garden this year. Jason Tatum's averaging 26 points per game in the playoffs, 10 rebounds, a couple assists for Jason. Kemba Walker is scoring 23 a night in the postseason as well. 4 rebounds, 5 assists for Kemba. And of course, we cannot forget about Jaylen Brown, who is averaging 21 points a game in the playoffs, 6 rebounds, 3 assists for Jaylen. The Celtics are in the top 3 in the league in lowest defensive field goal percentage. They're also in the top 3 in defending the 3 ball. The Celtics successfully covered the point spread in 7 out of their last 10 ball games. And they've gone 5-1 ATS in their last 6 versus the Atlantic Division. One of the few downsides is the fact that Hayward, Waters, and Green, they are out for tonight's action for the Celtics. Having said that, though, Boston's still taking on a Toronto squad who's failed to cover the number in 2 out of their last 4 contests. And that includes a failure to cover against an unrecognizable Brooklyn roster. The Raptors have successfully covered the number in just 3 out of their last 9 contests against the Atlantic Division. They also failed to cover the number in 5 out of their last 7 head-to-head meetings with the Celtics. Now we're looking at a Toronto Raptor team who, believe it or not, they rank in the bottom half of the league in field goal percentage per game, bottom 10 in defensive rebounding. And when it comes to the total in this one, 3 out of Toronto's last 4 ball games stayed under the posted total. 9 out of their last 13 in-conference games stayed under the line as well. Meanwhile, the Celtics on the other side saw 5 out of their last 6 stay under the number themselves. Nearly 60% of Boston's games away from the Garden stayed under the line as well. So with all that said and done, give me the Underdog Celtics +2 and the under 218 in that contest. Before we go ahead and break down this next and final matchup for the show, just want to go ahead and take another quick timeout and welcome you to the video. Got some lines and personal leans out for Tuesday's NBA playoff basketball action. Happy Tuesday to you guys. Hopefully you had an outstanding start to your week. Now before we go ahead and move on, I just have to quickly remind you once again that we are 4-2 in our last 6 board member tier package plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. We're also 2-0 in our last 2 extra daily pick tier package plays on that site as well. If you want some more information on how you can join in on the action, link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. And moving on, we're going to take a look at that game right there. The one I'm pointing at, that's the Jazz Nuggets. That's the big one. Game 7, and that's going to be an 8:30 p.m. Eastern tip-off. Can't wait for this one, guys. Series all knotted up at 3 games apiece, and we are looking at a good old-fashioned pick'em contest with the total at 216 and a hook. And despite losing games 5 and 6 to the Nuggets, this Jazz team is still averaging nearly 120 points per contest in this very series. Utah's in the top 10 in the league in points allowed per game, top 5 in defensive rebounding. Donovan Mitchell's averaging an incredible 39 points a game in the postseason. 4 rebounds, 6 assists. I honestly feel like the Jazz do have the best player on the floor, and it's certainly going to pay off in situations like this, or potentially it could. Mike Conley's also averaging 23 a game in the series, 3 rebounds, 5 assists for Mike, and Rudy Gobert scoring 17 a night along with 10 rebounds. This Utah team ranks in the top 5 in offensive field goal percentage, top 3 in shooting the 3-ball. They are taking on a Denver squad who, despite winning back-to-back games, they still find themselves victorious in just 3 out of their last 9 contests. Will Barton's still out of the lineup for Denver, as they currently rank in the bottom 10 in defending the 3-ball as well. They're also in the bottom half of the league in offensive rebounding, bottom half in scoring on average per game. And speaking of the scoring in this one, when it comes to the total, 12 out of Denver's last 13 got over the posted total. 7 out of Denver's last 10 head-to-head meetings with the Jazz got over the line as well. Meanwhile, 8 out of Utah's last 10 games got over the total themselves. So with all that in mind, give me the Utah Jazz winning this one outright and the over 216.5 in that game. And before we shut this thing down, we're going to do something we haven't done in a while. I'm talking about some good old-fashioned shout-outs. And from our Instagram platform, shout out to David Thomas, Bubba Jonesy, Monica Overland, Marshall Thomas Kennebrew, Jeffrey Sandoval, Alatoa Reynolds, Roop Karumi, Pavel Bure, Crouton Betty, and Swayze Venom. And finally, from our YouTube platform, shout out to Josh Markley, Jose Resto, World Hayes, Noob Saget, Michael Galeas, Jack Daniels, David Taylor, Jeremy Lee, Israel GM, and last but certainly not least, gotta give a shout out to my good friend. She's been with me for a very long time here on YouTube. I'm talking about Charlotte P. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. Like I say, every video, if you decide to get a package today on Patreon, just keep in mind we'll bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So with that said, it's the first of the month. You're getting absolute max value if you sign up today. Once again, if you sign up for Patreon, just keep in mind we bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So if you sign up today, you're going to get billed today, and then next time you get billed will be on October 1st, and you can cancel at any time. But most importantly, guys, gotta thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Tuesday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.